In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to manage your time off requests and approvals and create a master calendar inside of Asana. So if you're tired of juggling all of your time off requests on top of everything else you have to do, I've got a solution for you. But make sure you stick around to the end where I'll show you exactly how you can also make sure that your project teams are in the know. Let's set the stage here quickly before we get into our demo. So what I've got here is a master calendar that I've set up. So I use this with my own team. And as you can see, we've got some team members here. We're tracking all their birthdays, and we've got a custom field for the master calendar event. We've got we've got some Canadian holidays here, and the dates, they're all recurring annually. And then we've got North American holidays. Depending on where you are in the world, you'll want to obviously update that so it's relevant to you. We've got a section for PTO, which I'm going to show you how that works in a minute. And then we've got some team meetings, events, US holidays, work anniversaries, and so on and so forth. So on top of this master calendar events, we've also got the estimated time custom field here. If you watch my previous video, you can see how estimated time works and how that drills up to the portfolio. But what I do want to point out here that's super important is that you want to make sure that you have your own time off policy created and that you're following that. Some companies require that you give a reason for your time off while others don't. And then some organizations require an approval once the time off has actually been submitted. But I would say just follow your own policy and what that says and adjust your Asana workflow accordingly. So let's get back to it. So what I want to do here is I'm going to show you how we can, keep all of these dates in line, stay on top of everything, and obviously manage any requests that come in. That is one of the biggest requests that I get is how do I manage the time off? How do we see who's away? How do we get visibility on that? And there are third-party apps that you can plug in, but we can do all of that in Asana. So on a calendar view, it would look similar to this. We are, let's do this by calendar events. So the colors are by the type of event. So we know that, that's a birthday. We've got, this is an employee or team type of event. We've got our, global holidays, and throughout the year, you'll be able to see everything as it's happening. And what I want to show you is this. So as we all know, we manage requests and intakes by using forms. So I've already gone ahead and I've set up the form for us. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here. So I've created one called PTO submissions. If you haven't already, go visit System Builder Academy to get in on the conversation and learn more about Asana with other professionals. But let's get back to it. So we've got our name here. We've got an email. And what I've done in the settings is I've checked off add submitter in my organization as a task collaborator. Now, this might look different for you, but again, if you're managing approvals within Asana and you want the submitter to be able to get that real-time feedback, or if you need to ask questions or they need to provide additional documentation, then maybe it's a good idea to have them in there. Some people might not want this. It all depends on what your time off policy says. So if you do choose to add the form submitter as a collaborator on these tasks, one thing that I will point out is that you will need to make sure that as far as access goes, that you set this to private to project members. Now, the reason for that is this is an HR calendar. Birthdays aren't that important. They're not private. Holidays aren't that important. There's nothing private about that. But of course, other people are also submitting their time off requests, and there may be sensitive information. So you want to make sure that the submitter can only see the task that they submit, right? So we want to make sure that it's private to project members. No one else can get in. And then we also want to change task collaborators to comment so that they can't change any of the information within the request once it's been submitted. Now, it's going to be really important that once the approval does go through, that you change the assignee of the task to the person that submitted it. Because again, we're working with estimated time here. So you want to make sure that their estimated time shows up in the portfolio workload feature. And so I've chosen to add that person as a collaborator as soon as they submit the form. So what I've done here is I've created a couple branches. This first one says, are you off for a single day or a consecutive day? And then if they click on single day, it goes to a date field, okay, where you can click the date type as single day. And then I've made it so that when they click it, and submit the form, it automatically gets updated in the due date. And then I've done the same thing for consecutive days. So if they click on consecutive days, this branch will send them right down to here to select the date range. So now they can select, when they're starting their time off and when they're coming back. And then again, I've made it synced right to the due date. You're gonna get this warning here that says, hey, you can't do this, try and avoid conflicts, but because they're only selecting one of the two, it won't really matter in this case. And then I've added this number field here, which is how many hours of work time are you taking off in total? And so this, as you can see, is connected to estimated time. So what this will do is as they put in, I'm gone for 5 business days, 8 hours a day, we've got 40 hours. So they're gonna enter their 40 hours and you guessed it, it's gonna show up in the estimated time. And I'll show you why that's important a little bit later. So reason for PTO, again, depending on what your policy says, this may be relevant or not. Some people might say it's none of your business. Some companies don't require a time off request because maybe you have unlimited vacation or whatever the case may be. But I've just given some examples for the demo today. So we've got vacation, sick days, appointment, mental health days, leave of absence, blah, blah, blah. And if they click other, they're required to give a reason. So I've made this not required in this case. You can choose to do whatever you want. And then I put in a paragraph text box here, anything else we should know, and then a space for supporting documents. So let me just go in and complete this so that we can actually take a look at it. So you'll probably want to keep this to organization only. You want to make sure people are signed into Asana to use this because you don't want it getting out into the world or anyone else being able to add information in here that doesn't make sense for them. So I'm just gonna set a default assignee. It's gonna come into me, I'm gonna copy all responses to the description. Now, let's just test this form out real quick so you can see exactly how it works. So I'm already signed in, so it's pulling my email, as you can see, and it's got my name already there. So are we taking a single day? Let's do consecutive days. What's my date range? I'm gonna take off from the 3rd. Nope. I'm gonna take off from, there we are, the 3rd to the 7th. Come on, why are you doing this to me? Let's go to our start date. From the 3rd to the 7th. I'm trying to go too fast. And then how many hours of work is that? So we're looking at 40 hours right there. Let me just do one of those. No, it's not gonna let me. So we got our 40 hours in there. Again, let's go reason, vacation, let's say. Anything else we need to know? Nope. See you soon. And then we can attach supporting documents if we want to. So I'm gonna submit that and we're gonna see what happens. So your submission has been received. We can add another one if we want to, if we're taking off more time. And as you can see, it gets added up top. So it has the name of the employee and then what the reason is, it's their vacation, and all that information is populated. Great. So not super helpful right now because we can't really do much with this, right? We want to be able to actually assign it to PTO, have all that information come through. So what I'm gonna do, and as you can see, it hasn't actually put in 40 hours, it's put in 40 minutes, which is why I was trying to put the colon in there. But in any case, the person that's receiving it and doing that triage can update that as well. And then what we wanna do is we wanna also have it move to the PTO section right down here. So I'm gonna manually move that for now so that it shows up in our PTO section. So let's start to automate this and think of how we can improve this. So I'm gonna go back to customize and I'm gonna create a rule. All right, so I'm gonna add my rule, go custom rule, and I'm going to say for my trigger, when a task is added to this project, not all tasks, because additional holidays may come up and you don't want the additional holidays to trigger this rule. And so we want to go form submissions. I'm going to choose my PTO submission form here. And then once that is submitted, we want to do a couple things. We want to move it to the section PTO so that it's nice and organized. Okay, and then we also want to make sure that we set the master calendar event so it goes to the correct section. So it's not birthday or holidays, we want it to go straight to PTO, just like that, and mark it as a custom field. Okay, from there, what we also want to do, I'm just going to create that rule for a minute, and let's just go test that form one more time. So where's my form? There it is. Let's go right into it. Let's view that form. Again, it's gonna pull up all my same information. Let's just go quickly, single day, blah, blah, blah. I'm just taking off 8 hours. Reason, appointment, doesn't really matter. Let's submit that again. Great. So now it's come in. As you can see, it's moved to the proper section, Jamie Staples appointment. That's great. And same thing, it's defaulted to 8 minutes. So I'm actually gonna change that to 8 hours as the approver. Or as the person receiving it. So now I'm going to take it a step further, because if you are managing approvals, you want to be able to not only have your submitter be added as a collaborator, but you want to be able to have some back and forth. And so whatever your policy would say on this is what you want to set this rule up as. So let's go back into our rule right here. I'm just going to make an adjustment for this as well. So what we want to do is action. I'm gonna set not the assignee, but I'm going to make it an approval right here. So I'm gonna say approve time off request in parents task, just like so. I'm gonna make it assigned to Justin, and maybe our policy says we'll get back to you in 3 days. So we would do something like that. So as I submit this task again, it will automatically be assigned as a subtask to Justin to approve it, and I'm gonna add subtask assignees as collaborators. And so you can do quite a bit with this, but now we have an extra layer of approvals, and depending on the actions that are taken, whether it's changes requested or it's rejected, right, we can add additional workflow steps to make that make a bit more sense for what we need to do. So I said that if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna show you how to actually make this actionable and make sure that your project teams are also on the same page as you. So where we can go from here now is, as the person coming in and triaging it, we can do a couple of things. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take our original 40-hour time off, okay? If you recall from a previous video, I used the website design demo, and what I've done in this project is created this section called project timeline. So you can probably guess where I'm going with this. And so what we want to do now is go in here, and I'm actually going to multi-home just this task itself. So I'm going to put it to website design process, that's the one, and then we're gonna put it into project timeline just like that. So now we can come over here and we can see Jamie Staples is on vacation from the 3rd to the 7th of April and gone for 40 hours. So great. Now our team knows, and they can obviously look inside of the timeline to see that as well. But project managers, anyone who is managing the project from a high level, or an executive that's looking for visibility on what's happening within the team, again, tying back to workload and capacity, we can now go to our portfolio where I already have my website design process right inside of here. Okay, we can see the timeline, and I went through this in detail in another video. But now if we go to our workload, now we can see for that time frame, there's 40 hours assigned to Jamie Staples, who's on vacation. And so we immediately know Jamie's over capacity. There's no way that Jamie can take on any more work. And there we go. We have the visibility that we've been looking for. So let me know what you thought of this. How have you been managing your time off requests in Asana? What's been the biggest pain point? Leave me a comment and let me know. And if you really want to take your Asana learning to the next level, join our System Builder Academy. I know I had a little plug in there a little bit earlier. That was on purpose, obviously, but we're having great conversations about Asana. If you want to learn more about how you can take your Asana skills to the next level, then join in so you can be a part of the conversation as well. Head over to systembuilderacademy.com, register your free account where you will receive access to exclusive content, learning resources. We're building out courses in there, and overall just connecting with like-minded ops professionals where you can learn about the tools and the processes that drive our organization's success every single day. So that's it for now. Again, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video, and feel free to share it with a friend or colleague who you think might also benefit from this type of content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in another video.